All right. So what's going on, everybody out there in the internet land? Um, Nomad coming at you with the hunt, coming from my little office bedroom area. Um, Seeing a lot of posts online lately about deer numbers being super low in Illinois. Did a little research, kind of looked into it, and I think it might surprise you what's actually going on. So stick with us. Make sure you subscribe. Let's roll that intro. Alright, guys, so I see a lot of stuff online about Illinois deer numbers being down, people not seeing deer as much in the woods and stuff like that. And, I personally haven't seen a drastic change in the number of deer. I've actually seen more bigger bucks this year than I did last year, and more last year than I did the year before. But that's just me personally, and I hunt all public land. So I got to dig in a little bit to kind of figure out what's going on with that. Why are people seeing less deer? And it's kind of surprising. Actually, I found out that in 2019, there were 210,000 deer tags sold in Illinois. 182,000 of those were filled, and that's at about 87%. So I'm thinking, okay, 87% of tags filled. Well, if we jump back to 2018, you're looking at 198,000. So not as many tags sold, but only 151,000 were filled. That's 76%, so a little less. So actually, more deer will kill. Well, so we're going to drop that back a little bit. We're going to look at 2017. There were 208,000 tags sold in 2017. So I'm thinking that's weird. That's actually more tags in 2018. So I guess that would, mean that there was a drop in, maybe there's a drop in population, so they sold less tags. But if you look at it, there were 147,000 deer taken in 2017. That's 71%. So if we look at the amount of tags sold and the amount of tags that were filled, it goes 61, 67 to 87%. So per the amount of people hunting, there are actually more deer being taken in the state of Illinois over the past 3 to 4 years. I think we have an increase in number of people hunting and an increase in number of tags being sold. And so that's actually leading to more deer being taken. And something else that was real interesting, I remember last year, 2019 season, there was this big thing that went out. It was like, oh, see, there are less deer being harvested. Shotgun harvests are way down for first season. That was true. There was a significantly less amount of deer taken in 2019 by shotguns, but there's also a record number of archery deer taken at 66 or at 67, almost 68,000 deer were taken last year with archery tackle, which was unheard of. Before that, we were looking in the mid 40,000, all the way back to 2005 when 66,000 deer were taken. So actually 2019 set a record for archery deer harvests in Illinois for darn near 9 years. So what I come to kind of think is that the deer populations are actually really stable. You can call the biologist, and this is all this information is something that you can easily get online and find. In 2017, the estimated population was about 650,000, 660,000 in 2018, 670-ish thousand on the mid-range in 2019. So what we actually see is a steady increase in the deer population over the past few years. So I'm not one to come out and say it. Some people, it's just harder hunting, and it goes area by area. Not every area is as great as the next area. There are certainly like Pope County and Williamson County, Saline County, they're just known for having more deer, bigger deer. There are some reasons that I think would lend to people believing that they're seeing less deer. That could be, a big one is when you're hunting small parcels, and you had the same stand in the same area for 5, 10 years. This was my dad's stand, this was my grandpa's stand. Deer aren't dumb. So they pick up on that kind of things, and unless you're just super careful about when you hunt them, you have the only food in the area, the only water in the area underneath that stand, they pick up on that, and you'll start to see less and less deer movement, especially if you start taking more mature deer out of that area. You're going to see the less deer movement through there. There's also an increase in hunting pressure on public land over the past few years, and then movies like what was that one? The Hunger Games. That's what it was, The Hunger Games. Movies like The Hunger Games really led a lot of people to want to start shooting more archery equipment, and so that's a longer season, so you actually have a lot of newer hunters spending a lot more time in the woods, maybe busting through some brush, bedding zones, tropsing, just call it bow hiking, got their bow and they go off walking. And so that's really going to increase the pressure on deer. And so even if you hunt public land and you're hunting some of those closer spots, some of those maybe not as hard to get to areas or not as hidden, they're probably going to have a lot more pressure, and that's going to lend a lot to you not seeing as many deer in those areas, because the days and times that you don't hunt, you don't know who's out there. You could have a spot that you think is like this perfect hunting hole and nobody goes out there. You hunt it once a month. That's a whole month of days that somebody else could be out there and you just don't know it, which would lend to increased pressure. So numbers wise, the deer population in Illinois is actually steadily increasing. And don't take my word for it. Get online, check the IDNR website, call your local biologist. I encourage everybody to call their local biologist, figure out what's going on in your counties. Are there things that you can do to help out? All that's great for conservation. So with that being said, guys, this was just a quick little getting this out to you guys, what I was able to find on the situation. If there's anything else you want me to look into, specifically for Illinois, Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois, specific hunting zones, I would love to do that for you guys and get you a little better information, some raw numbers, and love to come and talk to you about it. If you got any questions, if you got any comments, leave them down below. If you haven't yet, go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It helps us so much. We're just getting started with this whole thing. And I'd love to bring you more content that you guys ask for. But I need you to go down there, hit that subscribe button, and let me know that you're out there. Thanks for watching.